Hi everyone and welcome back to FM Jewelry's tutorials. My name is Fatima and today's tutorial will be on how to waterproof a watch and the waterproof testing that goes along with it. I will be doing the commentary as our technician does the work. Thank you for watching and please remember to subscribe at the end. Okay, the first thing we want to do is remove the bracelet from my watch case so that it's easier to maneuver. And the back of this is a waterproof back, so it's going to be a lot harder to remove than a pop-off back case. So we need a little specialty machine like this one, which has pins that can fit into the grooves, as you can see here, and we can gently twist that off without scratching or damaging the watch. You can see it lifts off easily. Before you begin any kind of service or waterproof testing, you want to make sure the watch actually works. So let's just replace the batteries, which is the whole reason we brought it in. There we go, it does work, so we can begin the waterproofing. What we want to do is remove everything from this watch so it's all taken apart. We remove the crown. Now we're going to gently remove the movement and lay it down in a nice clean area so it doesn't touch anything. We're going to wash the case, the bracelet, the back, the pins, and once it's all clean and it looks new again, we're going to dry it, and then we're going to leave it out to dry as well, air dry, just so that we can make sure that the inside of this watch is in great working condition when we want it to start, no water on the inside. Okay, it's been laying out for some time. Let's get back to it. Okay, so I'm going to remove the old gasket. The gasket is that rubber band that goes in the groove, and it's kind of old after a couple years, and it gets hard and it doesn't retain a lot of moisture. Air gets in, dirt gets in, and the watch is no longer waterproof. So once we find one that matches and fits, we have to coat it in silicone oil, and we reinsert it without removing any of that silicone oil. There we go. Okay, the next thing we want to do is put the back on, and once the case back is on, we want to kind of do it with our hands but then put it back in the machine, of course, because the machine does a much more secure job than our hands could, because this back was made for a waterproof watch. Okay, same thing as before, but we twist it on, a little bit of pressure. Now, this is the oil we put on the crown. It's very important that the crown is also lubricated as to make sure that no air comes in from this area. And the crown is going to be touched with a lot when you're changing the time and the date on your watch. So once the case back is put on, we replace the little crown right there and everything's set to go. Okay, now we're going to put it in the waterproof tester. Now, my watch, I do go swimming with it and I go in the ocean with it. I want to make sure that it's going to be waterproof at 7 atmospheres. So I'm going to see if it can retain that. What we're going to look for once we insert this in is any bubbles or air leaks. So this lever is just a pump, and we're going to continue pumping until it reaches that 7 atmospheres. Your watch could be waterproof to 3 or 4 or 5. It just depends on how far you are planning on going into the water. And that's the water pressure machine. There you see. Actually, you can actually see the pressure building up in there. Okay, it's going to continue to go up. This part does take a little bit of time. You can't go too fast. You want to make sure it fills up at an appropriate pressure and time ratio. Okay, once we're at 7, I actually want to go a little bit more. Let's go to 8. Okay, we're going to push that in. Now it's in the water. We're going to turn it around. We're going to observe it for a little bit of time just to make sure that this watch can handle being in that amount of water, that water pressure, without any air leaks. Once we've determined that that's good, we're going to start releasing the pressure, but we're going to continue observing the watch, making sure it doesn't have any more anything that's suspicious, air leaks, bubbles, anything like that. This watch is doing great. The gaskets and the oil, everything has been replaced so that it does not let any air in or actually air out. You can see that this is perfect. You don't see any bubbles. What that means is this watch can go into the water. What we do personally is not put the movement in the watch when we're doing this test, because what if something happened and this was not waterproofed? During the testing, the movement's going to be pretty damaged with water exposure. We open the back, replace the movement. Once the movement is in there, we're going to put the crown back in. Okay. And a lot of watchmakers take this spring off the battery, and their reasoning for it is they didn't have all the battery sizes. At Jewelry Forever, where this watch is being waterproofed and the battery is being changed, they do have all the batteries. So we're going to add the spring back on the battery and replace the case back. Okay, this watch is back in working condition. It is waterproofed, and the test was for 7 or 8 atmospheres. We're going to replace the bracelet, put the pins right back where they belong, and once they snap securely in, which we do with a little minuscule screwdriver, we check that it's working, everything looks good. We just got to put it back on my wrist. Oh, it looks so pretty. Thank you so much for watching my channel, my videos. Please subscribe so you can see more, and have a great day. Yay!